Excuse me, Judge, I don't mean to interrupt real quick. I had a comment in my hand raised on the last round and I was not able to get through. But I was in line. So is it possible?
You're absolutely correct. We're prepared to hear from you now. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for
You're the
your time.
last testifier, but you're right, and we missed that, so please proceed.
Okay, thank you for that. I just want to say good afternoon, honorable members of the task force. I genuinely thank you for your opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Amy Donzis. I was previously the marketing director at one of Hawaii's 8 licensed dispensaries, and I'm currently a member of the Hawaii Cannabis Hui. I'd like to thank the task force social equity team members who invested their time to produce the social equity report. I'd also like to ask the entire task force, when considering social equity, to keep in mind that 1, there are 0 Native Hawaiian members on the dual use of cannabis task force. 2, there are 0 Native Hawaiians on the task force social equity working group. In fact, one of the task force members overseeing the task force social equity report is the director of the Hawaii Cannabis Industry Association, also known as HICIA. HICIA refer to themselves on their website as the voice of Hawaii's licensed medical cannabis dispensaries. To many local farmers and those who are seeking an aloha aina driven industry, HICA's involvement in the production of the social equity report is seen as a conflict of interest, one that does not represent the voice of Hawaii's people. HICA's stated purpose is to support the goals and legislative agenda of the 8 licensed dispensaries. Hawaii's legacy farmers who have supported Hawaii's cannabis patients for decades, long before dispensaries existed, and still provide the majority of Hawaii's cannabis today, as per HICA's February report. I believe the task force to successfully roll out a due use legalization in Hawaii, reaching out for further guidance from local social equity cannabis groups such as the Hawaii Cannabis Hui is necessary in developing the policies and laws required that will include the voice and needs of the local community. I'd like to also remind everyone on this call that this is not us against them. It is all of us against the end of prohibition and creating a history we can all look back and be proud of. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Amy. Although you did combine social equity and medical use, will allow you to have done that. Task force members, any questions for Amy before we hear from the recommendations in the report?
I do have a statement more so than a question, and it's a correction. Both Amy and Mr. Madero stated earlier that there are no Native Hawaiians on this task force. I'm sorry, but I find that offensive.
I'm sorry, I do say with the exception of you. My apologies.
I do have Native Hawaiian ancestry, and my family goes back to these islands, whether Hawaiian or otherwise, goes back to before the illegal overthrow of the Hawaiian Islands. So I am offended by the fact that people keep saying there are no Native Hawaiians on this task force. I very much am Native Hawaiian. In fact, I'm the former president of the Maui Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce. So I want to correct that misinformation. Thank you.
I think that was a very important. Amy, we're not taking any further comments. That was not a question. We're ready to hear now from Mr. Leverens on the recommendations on the findings of the medical use working group. Please proceed.